from the sinkhole with Nick,
Steve,
and your sweet chicken love, Casey.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out where you were going with that one, Nick.
Half in the bag.
Half in the bag like my sweet 11 herbs and spices.
So you just want to get into talking
half in the bag, like, I'm not going to marry my daughter's fiance, even though she clearly doesn't love him, and I love him, so...
Oh, my God. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched A Recipe for Seduction, you're doing yourself a disservice.
I have so many questions about it.
Nick, did you watch it?
I have not.
Okay, we're going to end this damn podcast. You're going to click that play button. It's 15 minutes of just...
I'm aware of it being 15.
Did you know it's 15 minutes, though, Nick?
Yes.
Okay, lifetime. We got to have a talk. You shouldn't be a channel.
Well, what was the old Family Guy joke? Lifetime. Television for idiots.
I think so.
Yeah.
Here's what matters. Lifetime figured out how to take their hour-and-a-half movies that were bad and take the whole thing and make a 15-minute movie with every single same piece from an hour and a half. You're all getting gypped an hour and 15 minutes if you watch this channel.
On top of shilling for KFC.
Okay, so...
It doesn't even really, like... If I didn't know it was presented by KFC or that the character's name was Harlan Sanders, I would not have known it was KFC.
100%. If you didn't watch the intro where it's brought to you centrally from Kentucky Fried Chicken stores or some ridiculous intro that it was, you would have no idea. Besides, man, that boy's mustache and goatee look real familiar.
You're in love with the chicken man?
Oh my God, it's so good.
So how was everyone's acting in it?
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Lifetime tier?
It was Lifetime. They literally had
the directing, the cinematography is there was a good cut. It was a conversation between the main female actress and her friend, and they're on the phone, and the cuts in it were poorly paced and great.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Here's how good the movie was. It was written and directed by Gene.
Yes.
Wait, just one word,
Gene.
one name?
Jean. We're done. That's it. The artist formerly known as Gene.
What?
Dude. It was so... I'm sorry, I literally can't make it through this. This is not a bit. This thing was so fantastically bad. It's not Room Tier. It's not Mono's Hands of Fate. It is just 15 minutes of pure obviousness. I'm going to spoil this entire movie right now because
go for it.
This is good. Nick, you're just going to have to sit back a minute. Steve and I need to have a conversation that we've been waiting to have. We really do,
especially because of the two big things.
Okay, so the whole point of this movie is it opens up on this, we'll call it a fancy dinner party, but there's 7 of them, so it's not that fancy.
It was a holiday get-together.
Was it? Because it sure didn't seem like it.
Yeah, there was a Christmas tree in the background, and there was, fried chicken on the table. It was a Japanese holiday get-together.
I don't remember a Christmas tree at all, and the chicken was not fried. So it starts out with all of these people sitting at a table. Everyone, trust me, you're going to want to listen to me more than you're going to want to watch this movie, but go for it anyway. So they're all sitting down eating, and it appears to be a normal thing. And then out of nowhere, this dude here, I already don't like this guy, and I'm sure he's the bad dude in this whole thing. Makes a really bad joke about the chicken. And she's like, "Oh, Bunny." Yes, the mom's name is Bunny. Problem number 2. It's like, "Oh, Bunny, your chicken is so good." And she's like, "Oh, well, thank you, but it's not my chicken. It's this new man I heard. His name's Harlan Sanders." And it's like, "Oh, okay, bitch, that's cool." And
Harlan.
It was so good. And then he makes some reference about I want to say it's something along the lines of like the chicken being juicy and then his love is juicy or something like that.
No, he's like, this chicken's as juicy as my love for. I don't remember what the daughter's name is.
The only good. Oh no, she's not even the only good actress. The only good actress was frickin' what's his face.
Yeah.
Who's the main guy? Like he's like a legitimate dude.
What's his name? Mario Lopez.
Yes, Mario Lopez was actually good. He didn't Lifetime act.
I almost said Emilio Estevez. If it was Emilio Estevez, that would make it like 100 times better.
So the whole time that like he's doing this speech, she like sides eyes like her bestie apparently, who's sitting across the table, who just like makes eyes back at her like, "Oh, this dumb bitch."
So, okay, to describe the best friend, have you ever seen Samurai Cop?
I don't think anyone besides you and me has seen Samurai Cop.
Remember the black partner?
Mm-hmm.
How he makes the stupid faces when they're having conversations.
I feel like that dude is an actor. Like I feel like I've seen him in something else. He was the only one that I went, I recognize him. I couldn't tell you from what.
Not Mario Lopez wasn't the other one.
No. I'm saying, but aside from Mario Lopez, everyone else on the cast is nothing. But I think like the black dude, like the black best friend, I feel like I have seen in something. I don't know.
Anyways,
whatever. So they make eyes across the table at each other, and it's just like, oh, this dumb guy. So he then proposes to her, and she's like, oh, then she looks at him in the middle of the dinner party of 7. Why we gotta do this in front of everybody? He's like, what are you talking about? I love you. She's like, I don't know. I have to think it over. And she just like leaves the table.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to next morning.
Next morning, this is where I have my biggest gripe.
Do it. Enter Steve.
So, cut to the next morning. The mom is all mad at the daughter for not accepting the proposal because, what's his name? Bobby?
Yes.
Billy.
Billy is apparently rich or comes from a lot of money. Bunny is broke. The family doesn't have any money, so much so that they don't have enough money to make the next house payment on their gigantic mansion.
What?
Okay, hold on.
But during that time, she introduces the daughter to the new chef she hired.
That she stole from a super, like, 5-star restaurant somewhere in Southern California.
What?
The line is like, I told him to get away and come stay with us for a couple weeks.
I told him to get some fresh country air or something.
But, hold on, we haven't. The best part is she nonchalantly goes, because your father didn't leave us any money when he got taken away or something like that. Yeah, like, he's in jail and nobody knows why he's in jail.
Cartel work, duh.
Yeah. But
underground chef.
But I just love the idea of you have to marry this guy. We're fucking broke. Whoop! I just broke it. Anyway, we're broke. You got to marry this guy to. Hey, so I hired this 5-star chef from this one, amazing restaurant where he was probably making like $250K a year.
Chicken man. So like he walks in and in typical like Lifetime love fashion, her eyes are like, oh my god, this man's mustache and goatee are so good. And like she just immediately falls in love out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And mom's like, what the hell you looking at, daughter? Cut to like Harlan like introduces himself and doesn't say anything out of the ordinary. Like he's
just like, hi, my name's Harlan Sanders. I'll be cooking for you guys.
Super normal dude. Nothing weird about Mario Lopez, Harlan Sanders. He's the most normal character in this whole story about chicken. Cut to the next scene, and she calls the best friend, who turns out to be gay. We all should have assumed this from the beginning, but now it's set in stone. Gay black best friend. Who talks about how he's meeting this the boy that he met the night before. What did he say? I need to get country club ready.
Yeah. We're going into the country club. We're going to this country club.
Going to his country club.
Yeah, I gotta get country club ready.
As the night before, he's at the rich people house.
Right. And the best part about it is he mentions, he's like, you know I got this date today, and she's just like, oh yeah, that's right.
Like, it doesn't make sense. So apparently he's not country club ready, even though he's besties with the rich bitch, whatever. So she talks about, oh, I don't know, I can't be with Billy, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm falling for Harlan. And he's like, the chef? And she's like, yeah. He apparently,
exactly how he said it too.
he apparently, he has this recipe that's going to take, he has this chicken recipe that's going to take the world by storm. I'm almost fully quoting there. And then she's like, okay, I gotta take a shower. Love you, bitch. And then they hang up the phone with each other. And
Meanwhile.
And then mom comes in and steals her phone.
Yep.
To text Billy, we need to talk now. And he goes, I'm at the club. Insert Steve.
Yes. So, scene is set. Club bar. Billy's getting shit hammered.
Dude, he's going ham.
And the best part is, again, in my mind, funniest thing about this scene is he's clearly drinking whiskey or bourbon, not on the rocks, but just straight, and he's sipping it in one scene, no reaction. Then he takes like a downing of like 2 fingers and makes the biggest wince face.
He throws it back.
Yeah, he
hard.
just chugs it.
Ooh.
So the mom enters, sits down, and is like, I overheard, whatever the daughter's name is, she's falling for Harlan. We got to take care of this or else we're not going to be able to have, or like, you had fun on that weekend getaway last year, right?
Our long weekend in the vineyard
Yeah.
is the line.
Yeah.
The mom wants.
So the
action
mom
from
and
Billy,
the mom and the dude banged it out.
Yeah.
but she wants her daughter to marry him.
Right.
Nick, you're realizing the problems with the movie. Don't get too far ahead of us.
Now, what's funny about we should probably describe this. The daughter, would you say the daughter's probably like 25, 26?
I would say she's in her upper 20s. Hot.
Yeah. Yeah. The Billy is probably in his 40s.
I would say low 30s. I'd say low 30s.
See, I thought he was in his 40s. He's graying and has some wrinkle lines there.
Oh, that's from all the hard drinking at the club.
Absolutely.
Oh.
And then the mom's not bad looking for her
She's probably in her
implied age of
50s.
like 50.
Yeah. Here's
So
another
it's
thing.
just one of those things where it's
You
like, wait.
you need to recognize this about Billy. This is the country club boy who's wearing the white tucked in shirt into his pants with a pink sweater that is not tied around his neck. It's perfectly folded around his neck.
What?
Yes. We're also missing another part here. So while this whole conversation is going on, happens to be the same club that the gay best friend is at, who sees the mom rubbing all up on the boy, and then texts her, "We need to talk ASAP." Now, somehow, in a scene that definitively showed the mom taking the daughter's phone and putting it in her back pocket, the mom doesn't feel the phone go off.
Yeah.
So, like, mom just doesn't pay attention. So, so we go into the next scene. After they talk about, as long as you marry my daughter, we miss this. As long as you marry my daughter, there's many, many more long weekends in your future. And the dude's like, I'm going to get that MILF pee. And it's gross. It's freaking gross.
It's really gross.
Wait, why is the logic of I marry your daughter, I get access to that?
Please hold your questions to the end of the
right.
presentation. Insert next scene. It is the next morning in the house.
Yeah.
The best friend barges in, like almost kicks that door down to get inside, and she's like, "Oh, daughter's best friend," because I can't remember his name, and I feel a little bit bad about it because he was the best actor in this entire movie. What?
I think it's Lee.
It might be Lee. Yeah, I think you're right. He goes, "Oh, Lee, how are you?" He goes, where's the girl whose name I also can't remember? I want to say it's like Alice. We're going to call her Allison. That's not her name. Where's Allison? We got to talk right now. And she's like, she just stepped out. She ran to the store. He goes, I need to talk to her right now, and I'm not willing to wait. And he starts screaming. She's like, well, she'll be back. She'll be back. She goes, I saw you all up on Billy at the club, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, turns around to look up the right side of the double left and right side curved beautiful staircase to go upstairs. Yeah. The mom grabs, I'm not joking here, a squeegee, like a floor squeegee, and smacks him upside the head. And of course, he goes out cold and falls on top of the stairs.
Instantly.
So now mom has allegedly committed a murder in her own house over this nonsense.
With a squeegee.
A squeegee. Realistically, the prop looks more like a curling broom.
Yes.
But I think it's supposed to be a squeegee because it doesn't look like anything else. So we're calling it a squeegee, though.
Then doesn't the daughter come home next?
So the next shot is like her up on her balcony calling Lee, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. We missed a bit." The mom has the audacity to tell Lee, "Oh, she lost her phone. She had to go get a new one. That's why she left. She had to leave to go and get a new phone because she must have misplaced it." And she has this dumbass look like, "Oh, dumb kids!" Like, even though she took the phone. So the next shot is the Allison is up on her balcony and like, "Hey, I haven't had my phone for a day. I lost it. I'm so sorry. I haven't heard from you. Call me back." So then she cut to Billy goes to the kitchen, and is like looking through all of the cabinets that are in this place, and goes and finds, for some reason, if he is living on property, Harlan just left his backpack in the kitchen.
Shit, no, we missed a big part.
What did we miss?
We got the order wrong. Harlan, you're getting to the part where Billy tries to bribe Harlan.
Yeah.
That happened before the country club.
No, what happened after the country club? Because she said you need to make sure to take care of him, and then he went and did it
after the country club, but before.
So before the Lee
gets
bit.
knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Realistically, you could put these in either direction. It doesn't change the story. Is the problem?
No, it does not.
So they're in the club, and like he's looking through everything, and he finds his backpack that just happens to be in the kitchen for some unknown reason, not in his living quarters, whatever. And of course finds the one nicely leather-bound book and looks it up, and not only is the recipe in the book, it's on a separate sheet of paper. They show it on screen for like 2.3 seconds, and they show longer the backside of the recipe with Billy looking at the card going, "Not so secret now, chicken man." It's so good. And the dumbass doesn't take the recipe. He puts it back in the book.
Yeah. He reads it for like 30 seconds total, and then just puts it back.
He puts it back and puts it back in the backpack.
Now, loser.
And I just love the "not so secret now, chicken man" is the best line of the whole movie. So then Harlan walks in. He's like, "Hey, she's not here if you want your help." He's like, "No, I'm here looking for you, Sanders." And he's like, "Oh, okay." Like super nonchalant, like, "Oh, what's going on, man? Like, are we friends now? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
This dude writes a check for $500,000.
What?
That says, "Take it and leave." "Oh, you didn't hear? She already told me yes." And he's like, "Okay." Like, no big deal. But
he's like, I don't need your money then. Like, you don't need to give that to me.
So he tries to give him $500,000 and like does the cheeky like double pat on the chest like, "You're good." Like just leaves. So the next, then the Lee scene that we talked about, then the next morning comes and the daughter goes down to talk to mom, and like mom's like, "Oh, didn't you hear? He left last night, just grabbed his bags and left out of nowhere." She's like, "No, he wouldn't do that to me." Super dramatic, like the most acting that she's done this entire movie. So she like just starts.
She steps outside.
Yeah, she goes on a walk through the garden, which is attached to the house. Like it's not like she went anywhere. And as she's on this walk, she just hears like muffled screaming. So she runs over to it concerned. And of course, in typical Lifetime fashion, the door handle is covered in blood. And like super zoom in on this really bad blood effect. And like the door is open. So she just pushes it open. And in the shed garage thing attached to the multi-million-dollar house. I need to make sure this is understood. It's not a separate building. It's attached to their dwelling. She opens it up, and Harlan Sanders is sitting there duct taped to a chair with tape over his face, which the very first thing I'm thinking of, man, you don't have enough hair. When you rip that tape off, it's going to hurt real, real bad.
Yep.
Wait, where'd the blood come from?
We're getting there. Hold on.
Okay.
So the blood is there, goes in, and like she's like, Harlan, and then Billy like comes out of a closet. Apparently no one knows where he came from.
Hiding in a cupboard.
Insert stage right, Billy comes in and like is just starting to like threaten him, and like Billy's a psychopath now, and he's like has a knife out of nowhere. He's like, you should have left when you had the chance, chicken man. No, I'm sorry,
should have taken the money.
we missed another very pivotal line, and it's very pointless, but we do need to say it. There's an earlier scene that's really worthless where like Harlan and the girl like go on this walk together, and Billy like pulls her aside and says, you made a fool out of me, blah blah blah, and calls Colonel Sanders crouton.
Yes, he calls him crouton.
I just want to make sure that this gets stated, and like Harlan Sanders, in the hardest he is in this entire 15 minutes, don't ever call me crouton. Like he was offended. That okay, it really didn't matter, but I had to make sure that gets stated just because it was really funny and I forgot about it. Fast forward, so we're back here, and like Billy is like all up in Harlan's face, and Harlan, like a freaking boss who doesn't have any control of his appendages, headbutts the ever-living shit out of Billy, and Billy goes flying backwards 27 feet.
What?
We're not done. So he gets that. Out of nowhere, Mom comes busting in, and they're like, Mom, what's going on? And Mom, paying no attention to a fact of her boy toy just got headbutted by the chicken man, just looks at him and said, Lee's escaped. And they're like, oh my God, Lee escaped? So the blood is supposed to be implied that it's from Lee when they drug his dead body or unconscious body into the shed. Now Lee, much like Jurassic Park with the raptors, is like hiding behind 3 cables hanging from the ceiling in the dark, and apparently no one can see her except for the best friend Allison, who zooms in, and then Allie, like he looks at Allison, he's like, shh, don't let him know I'm here. So Billy goes in for like the killing shot with this knife, and freaking Lee comes out with the squeegee sent from God and smacks Billy in the back of the head.
What?
Yeah.
It's the best squeegee in the history of mankind.
All right, if this isn't nominated for an Oscar for 2020,
Nick, we're not done.
Oh, there's still more.
So he knocks her out. And apparently the cops get called at some point because the next shot is they get Harlan out. They don't show the tape ripping off, which I imagine he screamed again really bad because he only had so much hair, which was debonair, by the way. So the next scene is the two of them getting married by Lee. So Lee is now a registered officiant and marries them within, I don't know, X amount of time. So like, hey, I know that your mom and your like ex-fiance tried to kill me, but you want to get married? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So they have a wedding. Then this is where shit takes the biggest left-hand turn in this entire movie. And it's in the last minute, maybe not even a minute. So they do another pan to like an insane asylum. And
I thought it was a rehab center.
I have to mention it's for the mentally challenged based on Mom losing her mind with all of this. But we don't know the answer. It's
just the name of the facility.
Oh, I don't remember what the name was.
I don't either, but it sounds like it's a more of a rehab facility than a wellness center.
So we'll say there's an issue, and this is there's a health facility for people that had problems. So Mom is sitting there super depressed, hair crazy disheveled, very gray, and wearing sweats. So apparently the wedding had to have happened either way before this or the wedding happened way after the murder scene and where we're at. Because then a nurse practitioner...
1 year later.
Is it 1 year later? Is that what they actually say?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that part. So apparently 1 year later, they're so old, it's not even funny. That makes it even funnier.
Aged like 20 years.
That's so funny. I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
So, while she's sitting like downtrodden on this bench, a nurse practitioner comes over and goes, "You have a visitor, Bunny," and she just kind of looks up, and out of nowhere, frickin' Billy, who's also aged 70 years and is super gray at this point, sits down on the bench and just goes, "Hey, Bunny, I found them." And then his right hand comes up holding a drumstick of KFC original crispy chicken, takes a bite, and eats it as they both smile maniacally. Cut to black. End of movie.
Directed by Gene.
Directed by Gene.
What?
Nick, you're going to watch this movie when you're done and go, holy shit, Casey and Steve said every single scene exact. And we took longer than 15 minutes.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We took a half hour to describe a 15-minute movie.
Everybody needs to go and watch this absolute cinegraphic masterpiece.
It's on YouTube. It's on what? Lifetime.
It's on Lifetime for free. You don't even have to have a Lifetime account. You can just go to Lifetime and watch it. It's so good. It might be one of the most ridiculous 15 minutes I've ever watched in my entire life.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say the ending sets up the beginning of a fast food cinematic universe.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
I mean, Colonel Sanders has a story that realistically could, based on his actual story, which is not what Lifetime just put out. His Lifetime story of how'd you start this chicken thing? Well, I got in a gunfight outside of a gas station. Oh my
I want
god!
to make food that the working man ate.
You all have to watch this movie and then tell us how much better our rendition was than the actual movie.
I, for one, like our order of it.
Oh my god! Yeah, I guess realistically, I guess I did miss that one scene which didn't do anything besides the crouton bit, which was really funny.
Yeah,
And I guess I missed up the Lee thing, but it's otherwise we said everything. We said the whole movie.
Yep.
It's so good.
Kind of sounds like Sanders is not much in it.
No, it's barely about him. He's in like
if
3
it's
scenes.
15 minutes, he's in a total of maybe like a minute and 20.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's not a main character at all because it's Lifetime. So why would he be?
Oh, touche.
It's so good. It's so. I don't regret the
Go
time that
watch
I
it.
watched.
It's fun. But yeah, I have some very serious questions of you're bankrupt, you're going broke, hire a 5-star chef.
Right?
Can't pay the mortgage. Hot chef.
Just marry each other. It obviously doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You're just doing it to bang and to get money.
By the end of the thing, when you realize that, oh, they're actually closer in age together, why didn't they get married?
Yeah. Who cares? I guess it's that thing of, ooh, it's the thrill of getting caught. Or
I mean,
whatever.
obviously, we're talking about what is a satire of Lifetime movies.
That's the thing that blows me away. If you watch any other Lifetime movie that takes an hour and a half out of your life, they did it in 15 minutes. That proves that the network is a sham. Okay, sorry. We can talk video games now. I just wanted to be the chicken.
Or, well, speaking of fast food.
Yeah, we should jump to that.
Man, next year is the year of better transitions.
Mr. Beast Boy, go.
So Mr. Beast launched over 300 locations for his new endeavor, Mr. Beast Burger, a burger joint to help restaurants in these trying times, I guess, get more service or not exactly revenue, but
Just business. Sounds like.
yeah. And I think for every burger bought, a burger is donated to homeless shelter or something.
I know a majority of the money is going to charity. Like any money
Yeah.
that is made outside of expenses is going to charity.
And outside of overhead, it's all profit is basically being donated to what? Is it the Food Network or something? Not Food Network. What is it? The like Feed the Needy or whatever the hell that one organization is.
Oh yeah, I didn't know. I never actually
Hunger
saw.
Network,
I
that's
never
it.
actually saw what the official charity was. I just saw it went to charity.
Yeah.
Same.
It's
So-
good,
so,
man.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. So Nick and I ordered some yesterday. So for those listening at home, this would have been Monday, the 21st, something like that.
Yeah.
And you could only get it through I believe it's the main food like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub.
Correct. It has to be delivered.
It has. Yeah, you can't go and pick it up, from my understanding.
Correct.
So the location that's nearest us was only a mile and a half from where Nick and I were at, or I should say where I was at that Nick was supposed to meet me at.
Yes.
As I'm waiting, as I'm on my way to work. So I'm sitting there. It's like, okay, it's 11 o'clock. They're open. I'll put it in an order. Put the order in. It's 11:05. Things go by. I get a call at 11:30 from the DoorDash driver saying, "Hey, where exactly is your address? What shows up on my my GPS is just a parking lot." Well, okay, it's the address is X. I don't know why it shows a parking lot. Okay, great, thanks. 20 minutes later, I'm talking with Nick, and I'm like, "Yeah, the food hasn't arrived yet. The guy's just sitting in the parking lot at Mr. Beast Burger." So I shoot him a text saying, "Hey, what's going on? Is there is there an issue? All this?" Because at that point, I had to go to work. I couldn't wait around any longer. Mm-hmm. Doesn't respond to me. So Nick then goes to the this was in the Rocky River store. He goes to the river shop and is sitting there waiting. The guy came in after 10 minutes?
Close to noon.
Okay, yeah. So about 10 minutes after I left and sent him the text. What was he, on the phone or something like that? No explanation of what took so long.
He comes walking in, we make eye contact. He kind of does the head nod that you do when you...
You got the goods? I got the goods.
Yeah, but he did it when it's raising the bag in the air, like signaling I got the food, and he's on the phone, drops it off on the table next to me, and then just quickly turns around and leaves. I'm like, oh. Cool.
So, got the food. It was cold, needless to say.
Well, don't forget, I still had to then drive another 15 minutes with you.
Yeah.
So I had to also be a delivery person in this.
And Nick made no money on it.
Yep.
Because he paid me back for the burger.
Yep. So we finally get the food. The fries were on the cold side. They're like maybe lukewarm at best.
I feel real bad about this because mine was hot as shit.
Well, good for you. The burger, I got the crisp style, which is the cheeseburger with fries and bacon. And I'm usually not big on bacon, but this bacon was done right. The fries were actually the only kind of like cold part of the burger. For the most part, that was able to maintain heat well enough. But yes, the fries were definitely cold. The paprika was very concentrated.
And then I got the regular old Beast Burger. And like I said on Instagram, it's a burger. It's not crap like your McDonald's, Burger King. I'd say it's in like in the same tier as Five Guys, Rallies.
Mm-hmm.
Hold the effing phone for a minute. You put Five Guys and Rallies in the same tier?
Yeah.
You need to get the hell off this show.
Okay.
What? What? You can't even go. No, you can't do that.
When was the last time you had a Big Buford?
Legitimately, 2 months ago? There ain't no way in hell Rallies and Five Guys is on the same tier.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't like Five Guys, so...
Okay, I mean, that's fair, too.
Yeah.
I also had the Mr. Beast burger. I would put it above a restaurant burger.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of is what you would get at from a food truck. Just people who all they do is make burgers all day, but it's not fast food type.
Yeah, it's better.
It's not that greasy.
Yeah.
I put it where it's the perfect burger after a night of drinking to help absorb.
So the Beast Burger, for those who are...
I didn't feel like bloated after it, and I usually feel bloated after eating red meat.
So the Beast Burger is a double patty, double cheese, diced onions for some reason.
Hell yeah.
Were there tomatoes? Did I imagine that?
I don't remember having tomatoes.
I don't think there was tomatoes. I know I added lettuce. That's not on there, though. beast sauce, which some kind of barbecue sauce, but it was pretty good, and brown mustard.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of brown mustard. I hate yellow mustard. If I do hot dogs or brats, you do brown.
I didn't actually read the description of what it was. So that explains why, because I kept talking to Nick, telling Nick, like, the sauce on this is really good.
Yeah, it's whatever beast sauce is and brown mustard.
I think beast sauce was just like a like mayo ketchup and
it was something like that,
or like mayo and barbecue sauce mixed,
and pickles.
Hell yeah, mine had a ton of pickles on it, but.
And then I did the Nashville Hot Chicken.
How was that?
Very good. It wasn't spicy enough for me. Like when I think of Nashville Hot, I think I'm gonna get a kick. But it was very good. It was still good. Like it was better. It was chicken tenders in the Nashville hot sauce on the patty with lettuce and mayo and pickles. So that was real good. And then I got my fries beast style, which is again the beast sauce, the mustard, the pickles. I've never put pickles on fries before. I'm doing that forever. That was so good. So your story is worse than mine, but Nick and I today, as we were talking about it, because Monday I told Lara, I said, hey, dinner's on me. I'm going to get us Mr. Beast Burger. So I go, after I see that you guys got your food, I go to look at it, and I ordered mine on Sunday, the day after everything went live. The whole Mr. Beast Burger went live on Saturday. I ordered on Sunday. So I said, okay, cool, Monday, I'm going to order it and get this stuff. And it goes, kitchen not delivering at this time or something like that. And I was like, what? I was like, excuse me? I said, okay, maybe it's just because it's like 1 o'clock. Maybe they don't have the whatever. We'll figure it out. I go again. I look later in the day, like every hour on the hour. I check. Nothing. Says it won't be delivered. I was like, this is ridiculous. So Nick comes over today and we're talking, and I brought up the thing. He goes, that's so weird. Like he went to look and see if like it was just an issue with like my app. I was like, maybe I need to delete the app and put it back on, blah, blah, blah. And Nick goes, no, it shows I can get it delivered. I was like, okay, hold on a second. So I take my phone, put in Nick's address, who lives barely a mile away from me.
Yeah.
And they will deliver there.
Wait, which location?
Westlake.
Where you ordered? Okay.
So they delivered to me already. Now I'm being told they won't deliver to me. So then Nick and I went on this path of, okay, where is the cutoff where they said, we're not going to deliver you anymore. And we have found definitively the road that they go, everything past that road, screw you.
Yep.
So what were you guys just going through the Mr. Beast app then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it didn't show up. Like if I just search like on DoorDash, it doesn't show up.
Oh shit!
I didn't think to look on Uber Eats or any of the other ones to see if it was there.
Because I had to. It's funny. The first day when we first heard about this, I looked it up on DoorDash, and it was like one of the featured places. And then I actually had to search through it and go through like a page and a half to find it.
Yeah, it was weird.
Westlake.
So I just tried doing theirs, like so it would show up. But yeah, I know the road. The road is less than half a mile from me.
Yeah.
So if I have to order, I have to order it to Nick's porch.
Yes. If I get a magic delivery of Mr. Beast, I know that Casey's going to be over shortly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome.
I'm going to be like, hey, FYI, I'm coming over to get some sweet burgers.
Yeah, like I said, I mean...
house across the street, and that was a no-go.
Yeah. So funny.
Well, let's put it this way. In my burger ranking, I just don't eat enough, cheeseburgers to make an informed opinion of who is better than who.
Oh, see, I do.
So everything to me is B tier or below.
Oh.
Now, if we were to talk about like, I don't know, how I feel after eating certain fast foods, then that's a whole nother story.
See, here's my problem is like, just because of the amount of bars that I work in, I want and always am looking for a good burger.
Yes.
Because I'm not going to lie, it's very difficult to find like a great burger.
That's what I should say. It reminded me of a burger that I would get at a bar.
Yeah,
which
is a burger that I want over top of
Yes.
a burger at an Applebee's or a burger out of, any
Exactly.
generic kitchen that's not Red Robin. Red Robin's, for some reason, is just, I don't know why it's better, but they do a better burger than every other normal restaurant.
Because that's all they do is burgers.
Yeah, but like, if I want, I've just been so, I don't eat McDonald's. I haven't for 16 years. I'm not turning back. I'm done with it. I've had Burger King a couple times in the hopes that it'll get like that burger craving, and it just doesn't do it, or I feel gross. So Burger King's off the list now. Wendy's is passable, but like after Wendy's, like that literally all of the fast food burgers that are generically everywhere are out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I have to go to a burger joint to get a burger that I want. And in our case, like the quickest burger around here that I consider like a quote unquote quick burger is like Swenson's, as my mic cuts out. Like Swenson's makes a great burger, but you still have to wait and park, and it takes longer. It's not fast at all. So if I'm ordering a burger and I'm going, well, I have to get it from a restaurant or from somewhere else, I would put Mr. Beast Burger up very high on that list based on the qualifications of I just want a good burger that gets every taste that a burger is supposed to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I could get that.
Brown bag burger.
I'm kind of that
brown
same
bag
way.
burgers.
That's the only reason why I would say that Rallies sits so high for me is because that's the only place that I can consistently get food on time in Ohio City.
Well, yeah, you're on a very big thing.
Case in point, we're talking about how if they were able to provide milkshakes.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah, Nick's dining experience was ruined by the lack of milkshake.
Yeah.
Hey, I get it. I blame Red Robin exclusively.
Yeah.
And Steak and Shake. I blame those places for having pretty good burgers, and I really just want a milkshake.
Steak and Shake with their side-by-sides.
So good. So good. Man, can we get a burger, boys? I'm starving now. And I just ate a dozen chicken wings, but I want a burger.
Well, yeah, because you ate them too fast. Your body's like, I need something better.
Oh, my body just wasn't. Those wings were not good tonight. I feel bad about it.
Burgies.
Let's talk about video games for a little bit.
Which video game?
I don't know, the one that's on the screen right now.
Cyberpunk 2077 has sold over 13 million copies as of December 20th, despite refunds. Oh, yeah, that's probably the bigger drama that we should talk about, is that the quality of control of Cyberpunk 2077 on PS4 and Xbox One was so horrible that PlayStation actually pulled it from the PlayStation Store. I believe Microsoft followed suit, but I do not know for sure if they pulled it, and I'm not sure if it has returned on the PlayStation Store. I believe it would be way too quick of a turnaround for it to return. But it's a game, a generation that they should have just axed.
Yep.
I don't like the title of this article, but I get it.
Yeah.
Sold over 13 million copies despite refunds. They still sold them.
Yeah.
Like, idiot.
Yeah.
How many have they refunded?
I was telling Nick today, I don't know if Stadia is just continues to get so overlooked. I haven't had any of these issues that I'm seeing Xbox and PlayStation post all the time. I haven't had a single one.
Which tells me that Stadia might be the future.
Dude, it's so good. Everyone else had like a 20 gig update or whatever on day one, and Stadia it was already built in. I don't know why.
Exciting.
I would love for it to be broken. I'd like everyone else that's complaining go, I haven't experienced any of this stuff. Like,
I feel left out.
That seeing all the glitches and issues and whatnot has encouraged me or wanting me more to get the game than previous.
Yes.
But I don't think I'll pull the trigger, as I just got Totally Accurate, Battlegrounds, and Dwarfheim.
I love that you
Because
put
the
both
Steam
of those
sale is
games
like-
in the same idea.
Yes.
Cyberpunk, if you take it for a tabletop game gone digital, it's not the worst thing in the world. The real problem is it's been hyped for 8 years, and The Witcher has done so good that the expectations were off the charts, and then we got this.
This.
And in 8 years, it's it's unacceptable. It just is.
Supposedly, that this is over the development of Cyberpunk 2077. There was actually 3 different builds throughout its course where it got to a point, then they scrapped it all, went round 2, scrapped it all, and then they were about to scrap 3, but they couldn't because they needed to meet deadlines, so it was kind of a hodgepodge Frankenstein of everything.
Sounds like there's issues if you had to remake the same game 3 times.
Right. So while we can say it truly has been an 8-year development cycle, this version of it was only really 2 or 3 years.
Don't you want to know what the other 2 versions were like then?
Yeah. One day we'll find out. No Clips has a pretty good relationship with CD Projekt Red, but I don't think anytime soon CD Projekt Red will want to open up about the ongoings.
I'm going to sound real dumb here, but it's okay. It's for content. I didn't know The Witcher was a Polish story.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
It was originally a book about Polish folklore.
And my Polish friend that I work with went deep about it. I was like, holy shit, what, Pavel? I didn't know
there's
this.
5 or 7 books.
Apparently they had a full-fledged Polish TV show that is just as good as the Netflix one, just without Henry Cavill, and it's in Polish.
Yep.
I said, find me a copy with English subtitles, and I'm in.
Find me a copy with Henry Cavill, and I'm in.
To point out how important the Witcher franchise is to Poland, I forget if it was, I think it was when President Trump went there. I could be wrong. It might have been President Obama. But as a gift for visiting Poland, they gave him a copy of Witcher 3.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how important this franchise is to that country, because it's what they're best known for. I mean, we're talking about it, and it's normal. And what else could you name about Poland outside of they've been invaded too many times?
Sausage and pierogies. Punchkis.
Pierogies, yes. Sausages, I think, more German.
This Polish sausage? That's why it's called
Kielbasa.
Polish sausage.
Okay. So hopefully, I'm pretty sure they won't be able to get many patches out now as we're heading into Christmas and then New Year's, but it'll be interesting to see 6 months from now what this game will look like, if it is in a more stable, playable version or not.
I think it will be. Especially when they actually release the next gen versions of them.
Yeah,
Version
it will get fixed. It's just a question of how long is it going to take to get fixed.
Right, and then the other part too is Casey and I were watching a video where it was doing a side-by-side of GTA 5.
That was pretty surprising.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And mainly pointing out how when you fire into the water or throw a grenade in the water, there is no into the water effect and there's no explosion effect with the water.
Which game?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay.
Cyberpunk.
In GTA 5, it has all that, and all of it's dynamic.
Yep.
It had the spreading fire. It had the if you shot out tires on cars.
Now that I'll give a little slack with CD Projekt Red for now at the tires, but the water mechanics though, that's pretty egregious.
I mean, so here's where it gets interesting. I agree. I don't know how prevalent water is in a city that is so tech focused.
I was about to say.
I can see why it got overlooked because there probably isn't a lot of water-based things like there is in GTA. And I'm not saying that gives them a pass, but I can see why it would easily have gotten overlooked. But see, and then I'm on the opposite side. I think the car shooting thing is almost worse because the game is so tech focused that should matter.
The reason why I'd say a pass on the tires burning out is because that's a very small detail.
Oh, I was talking about the gunshot. I could care less.
Oh,
about
no,
the
I'm talking about specifically the tires.
I could care less. Well, you can't shoot the tires out. If you shoot the tires, nothing happens. That's my issue.
Correct.
The burnout,
the
burnout,
issue.
I wouldn't have even thought of. I wouldn't have thought to
I'm
have
talking
done
about
that.
the burnout, but you are right with the tires, where that should be an option to take things down instead of just say blow up the car to properly role play.
Yeah.
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 I can't talk more about it. I'm still playing Immortals, and until I beat Immortals, I'm not going to dive into Cyberpunk because it's going to take too much focus.
How is Immortals?
I'm loving it. It's Assassin's Creed and Zelda had a baby with actual, real Roman historical accuracy, and it's great.
Huh.
Or Greek accuracy, I'm sorry. I realized after
Greek.
I said it. It's quite, I mean, the graphics are beautiful. Nick, literally the game loaded and Nick goes, oh yeah, that's Zelda. I was like, yeah, 100%. But they just put a little Assassin's Creed in there. But they were,
it looks like Breath of the Wild.
yeah, they were very smart in like all of the weapons do something different. And they look very different, depending on like what set they're from.
Mm-hmm.
But you can customize them with once you unlock the skin, you can just put the skin on it. So you can have the weapon that you want based on how you play, but you can have a skin from a different weapon because it looks cooler. Nice. I'm like, I think they said the game was like, if you just did straight story, I think they said it was like 10 to 12 hours or something like that. Which feels light. I'm like 10 hours in, and I'm like, I've done so much side missions. I'm like barely into the story. Like there's so much content, and there's 3 expansions coming out that they've already said next year. There's 3 large DLC packs. It's quite good. I will highly suggest if anyone's looking for a really good kind of adventure-y Zelda-esque game, Assassin's Creed-esque game, but you want something just different. This is very, they make fun of each other. Zeus is an idiot, which is pretty good. Like, you know, like Zeus, I can't be wrong. This is why I did things. But it has had some moments, especially in the Athena storyline, where Zeus like starts to feel bad about what he did to his kids. And like how he shouldn't have like killed Apollo because he took the chariot out for too long, and it was, if he hit Earth, it was going to kill more people than it would have, blah, blah, blah. It was actually really interesting that it kind of gave this really neat, like, actual side of, like, as Zeus rehears the story that Prometheus is telling him to get unchained from the rock, essentially, for giving the humans fire, which is the base of the story, is it's Prometheus telling this whole thing about Phoenix is going to save you, all of you gods, and he's immortal. It's been really neat that as like some of the stuff that was like you wouldn't think would have been hard because it's all historical, like would the gods have actually felt bad about what they had to do and what they did in certain times? It's been really neat.
That sounds cool.
Yeah. I think it's on sale in the Epic Games stuff right now. I highly suggest either now or at some point if people want a good game. It's very.
I can't remember. It's single player only, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's nothing against that. That's just what I thought.
This game would not. It wouldn't work multiplayer.
Game.
Right. Immortal Redneck.
What?
Yeah, that's the first on Steam suggestion is
Immortal Redneck.
Yeah,
I don't think it's on Steam.
Sounds like a game to be added to the list.
Yeah, it's an old school shooter. I believe it's fast paced, and yeah, you have to shoot yourself through Egypt.
Man, you're the more redneck. I'm more redneck. I drink all damn moonshine, so I ain't die no way. No.
The downside,
you gotta go to Egypt, boys.
It's not on sale.
What? Immortals?
No.
Oh,
Redneck Immortal.
Redneck Immortal.
Oh,
yeah. How much is it?
$19.95.
Get out of here!
I think that was an intentional price to reference the shooter that they were probably inspired. Metro 2033 Redux is the free game of the day on Epic.
Good series.
Cool.
Yeah, I never played the Metro games.
They're cool. You would like them a lot. I really think you would.
Okay.
There it is. Yep. Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
It's a cool idea of you can either shoot the ammo that you have or you use it to trade and get better things. It's essentially the currency is bullets. It's nice. It's very well. It's really cool.
I believe No Clips has a good documentary series about Metro.
I know Stadia gave all 3 games for free for the Pro.
Nice.
We should get Flight Simulator.
It's not with VR.
Oh gosh. So we can see our house in VR.
Oh my god. Probably not, because my house on Google is still not when I owned it. It's been 2 years. Slipknot.
Nick, Spider-Man 2, stopping the train scene.
Hey, I'm trying to find the.
Why did that come up?
I really don't know.
Nick looks at weird stuff.
Nick, why do you
I'm
look at
probably on
weird
Sony.
stuff?
Blacklist.
What?
I swore Metro had.
Well, you swore
Not
wrong.
Metro, sorry. No Clips had a Metro.
No, I know. There's that pops up every so often in my recommended videos.
Yeah.
I forget who did it. But anything else gaming news?
No, because it's near Christmas time, so there isn't really a lot of stuff going on.
Full of joys and fears.
Terror.
Yeah, think about it. There's a ghost story. There's a nightmare movie.
Is this our last show of 20? No, we got one more.
No, we got
We have one more. We got to go all out.
Oh, our last show literally is on the last day of the year.
What?
Is it?
Yeah, remember when we release?
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of which, Merry Christmas to all of you out there. We didn't say it earlier. If you celebrate Christmas or whatever your respective holiday is, we apologize.
Chris McQuanziga.
Nick will say it again in January.
Yep.
It is Christmas Eve, though.
Thank you to Echo Strike for the use of the intro song Clear Path on the same album name of Echo Strike.
One of these days you will actually write it down.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Let the feeling go to all universal principles. It's time to lose control and get a little emotional. It's ending now, but hold on.